Okay, I'm not sure if this is recording or not, but this is how to make one of these little cupcakes. I've incorporated both the two patterns that came from Brenda Meyer's Loomylicious Cupcake and Greg Artman Huff of Loom Dude, and his was called Cutest Cupcake. And plus I've put in some of my own little tidbits. As you can see here, it's approximately 3 to 4 inches tall, and this is actually for more of an intermediate loomer because there are quite a number of stitches and little techniques that you'll need to do. They are the flat knit, the E-wrap, the purl, the garter stitch, and the hang hem. You can find this particular pattern on Nifty Knitters Loom Creations website in their documentary section. It's in the docs, and it says at the top of the page docs, and you can just click right on it and then look for Cupcake. I've just named it Cupcakes, Cupcake or Cupcakes. And as you can see, it has the little the yellow cake, the chocolate with sprinkles frosting. This is a tweed type of yarn, and little cherry on top. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. You'll need your Nifty Knitter loom, which is called the flower loom. It's made by Nifty Knitter, and it comes with its own instrument hook and the round loom, which has, I believe it has 15 pegs. Okay, we'll get started on that. Go ahead and take your one string or strand of worsted weight wool, not wool, well, you can do it in wool if you want, but just worsted weight yarn. This is just scrap yarn. It's what I call my crummy yarn that I just do dog toys with. And you'll go ahead and make your slip knot. That's how I make a slip knot. Okay, there's your slip knot. All right. You'll go ahead and put that on your anchor peg. Oh, I take that back. This has 12. I said it had 15. It has 12 pegs on it. Okay, and we're going to cinch that up. All right, now we're going to do a drawstring cast on, and many of the really professional loomers, that's what I call them, they're very good at this, and they know how to make videos better than I do. Anyway, they show you how to do a drawstring cast on if you don't understand how I'm doing mine. Okay, I'm going to just put this little tail inside of the loom so that it doesn't get in our way. And I'm going to start off by doing the drawstring cast on. Okay, and how you do that is you just go in front of one and in back of the next one, in front of the next one, in back of the next peg, in front of the next peg, and just do that all the way around the loom. Back, front, back, front, back, front, back, and you come around to your front again. Alright, now what we'll do is the rest of the drawstring cast on. And how you do that, any peg that has 2 loops on it, you go ahead and you pull that over. So that'll be our first one. First peg, pull that over. Second peg only has 1 loop, so leave it alone. Third peg, this is my working yarn I'm holding here. Third peg has 2 loops, because see your working yarn's above. Go ahead and pull that up. Fourth peg doesn't have anything on it except just the working yarn. That's what you call your loose yarn, your working yarn. Okay, next peg, pull it over because it has 2 loops, and you just do this all the way around your little loom. Let's see, my working yarn, there we go, and over, working yarn. This one's got 2 loops, so we're going to pull that over. This one only has 1, this one has 2. We'll pull that one over. And the last one doesn't have any, and so our working yarn goes in back. And there you have your okay, your cast on row. Yeah, fun. Okay, so that's what you do. You cast on row, and that's not counted as a row. It's just counted as your cast on. It's your drawstring cast on, and you'll be using this little tail eventually to cinch it shut. So just leave it down here in the middle of your loom so that it just hangs freely. Okay, so we've got our working yarn, and what we're going to do is with our first peg, it says here, first row, we're going to flat knit, keeping the tension moderately tight. Okay, so since every peg now has a loop on it, as I showed you, it has, all the pegs have a little loop on them, or have a yarn on them. Go ahead, and to flat knit, all you do is you take your working yarn and lay it across the peg, take your lower loop of yarn and pull it over. That is a flat knit. Do the same all the way around to all 12 pegs. 3. It says moderately tight. Don't keep it super tight so you can't get your yarn off your peg. But just, you know, so it's not hanging here like this and then you're going, oh gosh, I can't get that over. All right. There's, oops, get up in the picture here. I'm not used to doing this. Sorry, you guys. I'm not used to making videos either, so you're going to have to put up with me. All right, there we go. There's that one. So you're leaving, what's happening is you're just yarning over your working yarn, and your working yarn is being left behind in front of the peg. See how it's being left behind right there? There it is. So it's making a new loop for you for your next row. Okay, so we're still on row 1. I am a slow loom knitter. There we go. Okay, I don't even know what peg I'm on, but anyway. Oops, these get tangled. There we go. And take that one, put it over. If you want to fast forward, you can. And last one. Okay, we've done our first row. All right. So we have flat knit our first row. Okay, second row on this loom, and sometimes people will call this a bloom loom because they get it confused with other looms out there that are called flower looms, and they don't look at all like this. So I still call it the Nifty Knitter flower loom because that's what it's advertised as. But if you want to call it a bloom loom with 12 pegs, that's fine with me. All right, so we take our flower loom, and for row number 2 through rows number 12, we're going to do a garter stitch. And what that is you're going to flat knit 1 peg. Okay, starting with your first peg, you flat knit it. Remember, you take your bottom loop over your top, and then you purl the next one. Okay, so purling is where you take your working yarn and you scooch your loop up to the top, and you put your working yarn down here. Think of diving for a pearl. That's kind of how I think of purling. I know that sounds stupid, but anyway, it helps me. Okay, so you take your hook. This is an ergonomic hook because I'm an old lady and I need one of these because I've got carpal tunnel and various other things going on in my body. So you don't want to hear about it. Anyway, you take this top loop, the loop that's on your peg, and you grab hold of that working yarn that's down below and you pull it out. See? Just like that. There is your loop now. What you do is you pull that loop up. See that? Can you see that? Okay. You're going to pull that loop up, and hopefully this yarn is going to pop off of the peg. It's giving me trouble. There we go. It goes in back of the peg, and what you do with this loop is you just put it right back on the peg. There is your purl. You just purled a stitch. That is called a purl. To do the same, well, you're going to flat knit. We're going to flat knit so it goes, all knitting goes above the loops. All purls go down below the loops, deep down like you're diving for pearls. Okay? But because I am a fast and furious loom knitter and I can't stand to knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, what I did was I flat knit everything. So I'm going to take this back off, this purl stitch back off. Okay. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Okay. Took that one off, and I'm taking the original loop that was on there, and get rid of this. Did I get the original loop? I think I did. Oh man, did I ever? I think I messed that one up. Anyway, we're going to flat knit the, oh, there we go. Okay. I thought I really messed that up, but I guess I didn't do so badly. Okay, so we've got our working yarn free. And instead of doing the garter stitch, now many of you can do the garter stitch if you want. If you like to do that, what you'll do is you'll knit, then you'll purl. You'll knit, you'll purl. What I do is I flat knit the whole dang thing. I shouldn't have said that, but anyway. Okay, so rows 2, we're on row 2, through row 12, or if you want to make the cup a little bit shorter, you can do like 9 rows, okay, of flat stitching. So, and I'm going to show you how to do the flat stitch one more time, and then I'll stop this and do, okay, so we come up over our working yarn. Remember, the knitting stitches are always above the loops, and pull it over, and there is the next stitch. And same here. And now you can get going and go really fast on these flat knit stitches. I love it because, like I said, I am not a patient person, and it just goes so much quicker. Okay, so we go all the way around the loom, and we do this for however long length you want this. Usually I do 9 to 12. It says in the instructions here to do like 16. That's too many. I should probably tweak my pattern and go back and, yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll just tweak my pattern so that you guys won't get such long bodies of the, see how long this is? Look at that. Almost looks like a mushroom. So you will want it shorter, so it looks more like a cake instead of a mushroom with its frosting on. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop here and go ahead and flat knit all the way around your flower loom, and just keep going. Just keep going around, flat knitting, and around. And keep track of your rows. You can write them down, or if you have a stitch counter, you can just click that off. But I would suggest do at least 9 rows, and we'll come back from that. Okay, thanks. Now let's see, how do I pause this?